Hey everybody, welcome back to Tahoe Tuesday. The basic part of the build is almost done and I'm down to some footage I shot of basic repairs over the conversion. Today we're going to fix some interior parts. This is going to include welding some plastic and a drooping headliner. If you've ever dealt with these kind of trim pieces, the plastics and all that kind of stuff, you probably broke these off. They have a metal clip that goes over the top of them. And I've run into a fair amount of that kind of stuff today, and I'm going to try to do some plastic welding. I've done a bunch of it. It's oddly satisfying and it seems to be pretty dang strong. This piece in particular was cracking. You can actually see the crack and it was pretty disfigured and that whole piece was about to come out, but you can kind of see I put a little bit of made a little bit of a hook and welded over that, actually added some material to it. So I figure it might not be a bad idea to add that to the video. This is a little piece of leftover TIG rod that we had laying around. So picked it up off the floor, but I'm gonna make a little S shape to try to weld that clip back on, and it's a pretty small spot. And this might be a challenge because it's quite a bit smaller. Keeps going. We got it to that point. I'm just gonna cut it off. So can't really show it to you that good, but that's it's gonna be a little piece that hopefully will kind of melt into the plastic and hold it better. It's worked so far, but I haven't tried doing one of these little tabs, and these seem to be what break the most, that hold the metal clips. So I'm gonna tighten it down, make it as small as possible, and then I'm gonna use just a soldering iron, and I'm gonna heat up the plastic, heat the two pieces, kind of get them started, and then I'll put that S-clip in. Can't see what I'm doing at all there. I'm just kind of crisscrossing the plastic. That is really thin. The other side here. I'm gonna actually preheat this and get it nice and toasty so I can set it in place. I would imagine you could use any kind of wire with this. Just embed that in there. That went in better than I thought it was gonna. I'm gonna add a little plastic to it. I'm not exactly sure what the plastic compound of this stuff is, but with some of the modifications I made, I had a little piece where I cut out for some extra 12-volt sockets. And so I had this little hunk here, but I think they actually sell like a rod or something like that that you can fill stuff in with a little bit. And I'm just gonna make sure that you're melting it into both pieces. And the reason that it's so darn important to keep all these clips in place, if you can, is noise. Once these things break and start getting loose, they will rattle like crazy. Just gonna kind of feel that a little bit and hope that it's not so bulky that the clip won't fit in over the top of it, but I spread it out a little bit. It might be a little tough to get out, but more or less, that's it. And it's not coming off, so it's a good sign. We'll just get that. It's a little deformed, but I think it will still hold. The only issue I might have with this is it might be a little harder to get out next time, but yeah, that's kind of an awesome little trick to keep your internal panels quiet. And this one is broke off. I must have broke it off before. I don't have the part to repair it. I might actually try to make one out of this stuff and do it. But what you could do is go to like a salvage yard or something like that. A little piece of trim like this is probably going to cost you $3, $4, maybe $5, and then it's going to be the right kind of plastic. If you can find the same era of vehicle, you could just buy a little piece and use it to fill it if you're doing a full resto job and you need to do a lot of welding. So there you go. I'm going to mess with this one and see if I can build another one, but I'll do it off camera and show you what I came up with. Oh, and by the way, I ordered, this is off another one, but I ordered a bunch of these little clips. You can actually get those on Amazon. And we're back. That's the one I repaired. And then that is the one that I made. And if you look really closely, you can see I made a kind of a curly U shape in there. I'll be honest, once I built it, because again, I just took a hunk of this stuff. Once I built it and melted it on there, like it really didn't feel like it needed that. It's probably still a little warm. I pulled on it super hard and it didn't have any issues whatsoever. But I went ahead and put the metal in there too to reinforce it, and I don't think that's coming out. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited about that, to know that I can rebuild those that easily, and oddly satisfying. Like many of these vehicles, my headliner was drooping over the passenger area. I was about to pull the entire headliner and replace the fabric, but after this travel season I may want to make some modifications to the roof, and I'd rather do it then. In the meantime, I decided to see if I could access the derelict fabric and glue it back in place and get it out of my passenger's hair. Literally. The first thing to do was remove the grab bar. To do this, you pop the plastic pins loose with a small screwdriver or trim tool. Pulling these pins will release the handle from the steel ceiling. To remove the handle from the headliner, you have to slip these clips to unlock it. This is kind of a pain. And be careful. I broke one, but I was still able to use it anyway. I used a specific headliner glue. I'm sure the cheaper Gorilla Glue or Loctite spray glue would work, but I don't want to do this again anytime soon. I sprayed the glue as far into the opening as I could and made sure both surfaces were completely coated. And I actually did 2 coats of glue. The first was a little lighter to try and create a seal so the next heavier coat hopefully wouldn't soak through and stain the fabric. I used a Bondo trowel you could get at pretty much any part store. I started at the beginning of my sag and gently pushed the fabric up and spread it toward me. I put the whole thing back together, and it's certainly not perfect, but it is a much better temporary option than leaving it baggy. That's going to wrap our repairs up for the day, and as our show season gets ready to roll, check out livealittleproductions.com for our full tour schedule and tickets. I'd love to see you at the shows. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Kenny. This is Sagebrush Soul, and may the best of your past be the worst of your future.